such a pleasure to be here this morning. My name is Lionel. I'm the husband to Clarice. That's my beautiful wife. You see a light shining that way, no, she's around that side. Are there young people in the house this morning? Please stand up on your feet. I mean, if you're young in age, not in heart. Are there young people in age here? Wow. You know, this is the best day of your life today. Because I came to a convention like this, I was looking for young people. I was like, where are the young people? My goodness. And look at us this morning. By the way, I'm going to show you how it's so powerful for your age and the advantage you have to be able to scale this opportunity, yes? So I came just like Moba as an international student. Anybody in here without documents yet? No, it's not what you think. It's not what you think. There's no nice here today. So I'm grateful, give God all the glory for this opportunity to stand before distinguished people. You can follow me on social media. When I was coming to America, they laid hands on my head and prophesied Deuteronomy 28:12 and 13 on me. You know, when I came here, it wasn't working because number one, I only had 7 W-2s my first year. So what does it mean? The work ethics were there, I can work hard. So I only managed few jobs like McDonald's, I did home health, works in some few nursing home, group home, assisted living, did DoorDash, Postmates, Instacart. And it wasn't working, I went to Uber and Lyft. I know how you are standing on the floor and you see all these nurses sitting on the desk and you're like, man, I have to go to nursing school. So I started enrollment, I went through nursing, I graduated in 2019. I nailed down, I was like, God, that opportunity has become real. I'm gonna be able to make money because they told us nurses make at least $10,000, $15,000 a month. Isn't that true? It's not? So I was sold the wrong dream. It didn't take long to find out. See how stressed I was. We fought COVID, night shift. Oh my goodness. Then they say, well, you know, maybe it's because you just have a bachelor's, go to further school. By the way, when I had a bachelor's, I brought it to the manager. After a year, 8 months, they added me 26 cents. So I got a pay raise. I was so fired up. I said, man, this is an insult. What are you talking about? So they say, well, go to nurse practitioner. I Googled because I didn't do ICU. I went to do psychiatric nurse practitioner. You know, it's the course that might deliver. How many of us are on social media here? You go and watch Facebook for free, right? But somebody came on Facebook. Who? My goodness, please give a hand of that person, my mentor. My goodness. You know, I always say anywhere you see Mr. Emmanuel Tita, if you have a good sense of smell, just smell while you see me around. Because that's how coachable I am to my mentor. Everywhere he is, there you will find me. Because he liberated me when I was crying, I was praying for opportunities I couldn't find. You know, we went to a first convention like this in Las Vegas, our dreams got stretched, our vision. And when I came back, I was so excited. I went to one of my friends who just had a baby, say, you know what, you're gonna be the godfather of my child. I was like, wow, they trust me that much. You know, I went to them, I educated them because of the power of, you know, the Index Universal Life. Somebody met me yesterday, said, Mr. Leo, what's that FUL they are talking about? FUL. I said, wow, okay, we'll talk about it later today. So after that friend, I met with them, I gave them, I talked about FUL. Then, they understand the whole thing, but you say, you know what, let me get my financial advisor on this Zoom, let's talk about it. Then they got the advisor on, the advisor was like, well, you know, this child is too young, we're looking at opportunity, maybe you can invest in real estate for them, start a little rough IRA, and all of those things. Newborn baby. You know, the rejection, since they were so close to me, the thing hurt like a knife in the chest. Man, who among us here have been rejected before? Man, it hurts. I saw how bright, nice, beautiful this child was. You know, I was like, what? I kept telling the parents, not like the advisor didn't like them. It's just that their knowledge was limited. So I got to, you know, these parents. I said, well, it's good to start something small. You never know what the future entails. I know how fired up our children are when they are growing up. They don't sit in one place, they like to explore. And before you know, they had a medical doctor's appointment. And when the doctor just put on their record that hyperactive. And before you know, they say, well, spectrum. Then they came back a couple of months later, well, we've made up our mind, let's put in the application, and we put it, got declined. Why? When a child is still young, when a child is very young, below 3, by the way, that was years later, okay? When a child is still young, can you tell a child from birth is autistic? No, it's very difficult. That's why the earlier you start, the better. One single prescription or diagnosis can mess up the future of our children. And that's why today these parents are still hoping one day their kids will have coverage. That's why if you look at this book, a couple of leaders talk about, but look at the end of that book. If you read, you see how Ray Kroc, J.C. Penney, Walt Disney, all of these great companies, it's as if you put your money on your banking on steroids. And these same people are leveraging the same system. If you like reading, if you want to hide information from the public, do what? I gave the advisor and he really was like, oh my God, I'm sorry, I didn't know this. You know, that's why we are not enemies to financial advisors. They are actually, the goal is to partner with them to help our community. So don't fight advisors, don't fight people. Let's partner and bring the best out of that family's life. And I'm so grateful today with knowledge and liberation. This opportunity has changed our lives. And I said WFG is the solution to your financial problem. How many of us hear this solution this morning? Oh my goodness. And with this opportunity, we'll be able to travel the world, go to multiple countries, we'll be mentored by the best leaders. I know, just so incredible. By the way, people like the Lionel of today, right? But do you remember the Lionel of yesterday? Oh my goodness, and this opportunity have just given us a little space, time something of over 1.2 million. Oh my goodness. And not only that, we are building this, what I call the 6-figure hall of fame of my team. We have our very first millionaire promoted, and we have about 999 more to go. So we are so fired up. We are so blessed. I want to appreciate you all for being here today. Thank you, Mr. Tida, for changing my life. Sincerely, without you, I wouldn't have been where I am today. I don't take that for granted. Have a nice celebration. Thank you.